Welcome to the Stompers Managers Report. Well, the first half technically done. The Stompers just have 8 games left coming up after the CCL Showcase game this week. And Zach, will start with last week. You guys win the week again. You've yet to lose a week since league play started now almost 2 full months ago. What can you say about the team's consistency this season?
Yeah, I mean, as far as the weeks go, and that's what we preach, that having a good week is huge, because in the end, you'll be right where you want to be at the end of the season if you keep on winning weeks. And I feel like we've had a little bit of a roller coaster ride with games back to back. We kind of go on a 2 game win streak, 2 game lose streak kind of stuff, or, 2 game lose streak and 4 game win streak kind of thing, So, but that's what it boils down to is being where you want to be at the end of the year. And, we're winning weeks, and that's the goal. And we're gonna have a big week coming up this week after the All-Star game and the showcase game. We got three against Walnut Creek, so that's just gonna be a 3 game series, and hopefully we can win that and win this week coming up.
Yeah, talking about that consistency throughout the whole season, you guys have played the most games, but you have hit the 20 win mark in CCL action now for the second consecutive year after, I mean, not ideal seasons, your first two in the league as a CCL manager. What does it mean to you, that little accomplishment to see a nice carryover from last year and keep the winning ways going?
Yeah, it's about trying to get better each year. Each year we've improved so far, and hopefully we can keep on doing that. You know, um, Not so concerned on how many wins we get, but kind of being in the right range to make the playoffs, and hopefully we can get a home playoff game. That's our goal, and win the league, and go on to the championship series. So hopefully, we're right where we want to be, and winning these last couple weeks, and finishing the season strong.
I asked you this a couple weeks ago, but the rubber is really now hitting the road standing wise. There's 4 teams within 2 games of those top three spots, with Menlo Park and San Francisco sort of out of it at the back. It's you, Slow, Walnut Creek, and Alameda all bunched up there. One of those teams is going to have a great season and be left out. Is there a little bit more pressure this season down the stretch compared to last year where you had a playoff spot locked up? You were just playing for seeding. Now you know there's going to be an above 500 team out of the playoffs this year.
Yeah, I mean, there's us four kind of battling it out at the top, and I feel they're all really good teams, and it's good to have that competition, and um, hopefully we can be one of those teams. Right now we're on top, and we got to stay there and keep on winning weeks, and hopefully, we're at the top or somewhere near the top and in there. And I feel pretty confident about our guys and where we're at, and hopefully, we get some good rest over this break and ready to go on the weekend.
Now you guys lead the team in games played. You have 5 more than anyone else in the North as of now. That will even out a little bit down the stretch of the season, but you guys have had pretty consistently 6 game weeks. You now have 4 consecutive days off, except for your All Stars. We'll talk about that in a little bit, but you think this team needs the rest a little bit?
Yeah, the rest would be really good for these guys. It's been a grind. I mean, it's been every day, and we've had some injuries happen that kind of hurt, and other guys have had to step up, and they have, but they definitely need some rest. Haven't been able to platoon guys as much, just with the injuries that we've had here recently. But um, yeah, I mean, just looking forward to hopefully finishing strong. Pretty much.
Stompers send 4 players to the CCL Showcase game down this week. Colton Boardman, Luke Duncan, Braden Genson, Devin Laginto. I mean, you pride your team on pitching and defense, and that shows in your 4 All-Stars. Braden Genson, Luke Duncan, let's start with them. Those two combined haven't allowed a run pitching out of the bullpen this season. All of Braden Genson's earned runs were in his one start. Having those two guys in the back end of the bullpen, what does it mean to you and the coaching staff, especially if you're playing close games late?
Yeah, I mean, having those two guys at the end are huge to really shorten the game. I mean, if you can shorten that game and get a good start out of your starter, and we get 3 to 4 out of the starter, and have that kind of middle guy and just bridge it until we get to Duncan and Gantz at the end of the game is huge because We feel really confident with those guys, and they do an outstanding job, and well deserved that they're in the All-Star game. And hope they do well and have a lot of fun out down there. But yeah, I mean, it's huge having those two on the back end of the bullpen.
And then let's talk about the top of your lineup. Colton Boardman makes the All Star game as a shortstop, second consecutive year. You sent your shortstop down to the showcase game, and then Max Handren hitting behind them. That 1-2 punch is quite honestly the best top two in the CCL North. Handren hit 522 this week. Colton Boardman really shaped up on defense, especially in the first inning of games. You guys have put up back to back crooked numbers. What's it like with those two setting the tone?
Oh, it's outstanding. And getting off to that big, early start is huge. And those two kind of jump started definitely. And with our pitching staff, I mean, we got a really good pitching staff, and if we can get them a lead and they can pitch with the lead, then I feel like it's a lot easier to pitch. You can bite off a lot more of the plate, really attack the zone, and put the hitters on the defensive mode when you have the lead. You could be a lot more aggressive with your approach to pitching instead of more pitching on the edges and pitching around guys in a sense, in certain situations. So just getting off to that early start is huge, and those two, do an outstanding job with their quality at bats all the time. And we put the cues up on the scorecard all the time, and they always have a lot of cues on the scorecard. So yeah, they're two great ball players.
Brady Shannon heads down to hit in the home run derby. I know the Stompers haven't really had a huge power threat the past 3 years. That's a ideal home run derby participant. I think Brady Shannon really could be the guy, even from my perspective. He's a football player and a right fielder. He has the stamina. I don't think that's going to be an issue. He tees off on baseballs that are really under 85 miles an hour. He's a perfect guy, a perfect home run derby guy. He leads the CCL in home runs. You think he has a real shot to win this thing this week?
Oh, he definitely does. I mean, he's got some big time pop and power. I mean, he's already had a home run this year. Just I know he didn't get it all. Got fisted a little bit, and just still gets out of the ballpark. And then he just hit some really big home runs, and he has a lot of power. I mean, I haven't seen anybody hit the ball harder off the bat than Brady Shannon. And he's a great athlete, and hopefully does well down there, and has a lot of fun.
Let's talk about that middle of the order now. Brady Shannon, he's consistently hit fifth. That's your RBI spot. He leads the league in RBIs, but McCann Libby, after being a mainstay in your lineup, he hit three or four, 29 now of the 33 games that you guys have played. He's leaving, going down to Louisiana Tech for his start of his D1 career down there. You now have some purgatory in the 3-4 spot. Is there a guy you want to lock into that spot, or you're still going to sort of figure it out now over the next couple weeks?
Yeah, I'm gonna kind of figure it out and see who's gonna step up. Hopefully, and what we've done all year, we've had guys step up. So, we kind of want to get a righty in that spot. We don't want to go three lefties in a row. We got Lazul kind of hitting in the four hole right now, and so, we don't want to, just go all lefties in a row. That's gonna, if we face a lefty, that might be a little difficult. So having that righty there is gonna be huge, and hopefully we can, have somebody step up, coming up here, and we'll figure it out.
I mean, we have to talk about the last two games. This wouldn't be this week's manager's report without talking about back-to-back 17 run performances from your offense. I know early in the week after the Walnut Creek game, you were a little bit down on the bats, but they'd struggled a little bit there for a 4 or 5 game stretch. Even the wins had been 3-1, 4-1 close games. They explode for 17 runs against Menlo Park, then 17 runs on the road in Alameda, which had been a real tough place for you guys to play. I mean, sort of, what did you see out of them? A lot of 2-out RBIs, a lot of 2-out rallies. This seemed like your game plan, you and Mayo's game plan, really coming to fruition for 2 games. It must have been really happy for you guys to see that.
Yeah, no, it was great. And that's where kind of it's bittersweet, this All-Star break, after scoring 17 runs in a row, 2 nights in a row, and then going on a break, but we also need the rest. But yeah, I mean, our guys just did a great job. They're sticking to the plan, taking their quality at bats. I know, Against Menlo Park, they gave us a lot more free passes, kind of
Hmm.
set us up, and then we got, the hits later on. Um, but yesterday a lot of two out hits, and I think both days a lot of two out hits, but it's contagious, right? And whatever you do in this game, and kind of always, talk about having good energy and that kind of stuff, and just staying positive. It's always contagious, and I like when we get contagious with the two out RBI hits. That's a lot of fun, and I know yesterday we had a bunch of them, all back to back to back, and I don't know how many in a row, but there's a decent amount, and it's just fun to see and see these guys succeed here, and because they've been progressing all year. I mean, their progression, like in batting practice every day, is outstanding. And so to see them be a little bit more successful, we lost some of our arms, so we might need a little bit more help hitting wise at times. Although we pitched really good yesterday, and yeah, so I mean, it's really nice to see, and hopefully we can keep it up and kind of pick up where we left off on Friday coming up here.
Ending off with sort of a cliche question for you. You've been around this game a long time. You've been in dugouts at a whole bunch of different baseball levels. This team is in the hunt to honestly go win the CCL North. What makes this team special from others, especially different Stomper teams you've managed?
Their work ethic. I mean, honestly, every team's worked hard, but these guys, there's so many of them that get out there early and get some work done, and they do a tremendous job at every single day, and they're really consistent with it. And so just really proud of our work ethic, our process that we've had all year. I think they've done just an outstanding job, and you know, couldn't ask for more as a coach. I mean, they're all just a bunch of great dudes, great ball players, and with great work ethic and good attitudes. And we preach from the start of the year. It's about all we can control is attitude and effort, and they do just great job with that every single day, and they bring it. So it's good.
Stompers have 4 days off before a big three-game set coming up against the Crawdads. Enjoy your days, coach, and thanks for taking the time.
Thanks, Karen.